Okay, so now let us see how to communicate in both directions, which is duplex communication between a client and server. So again, we are going to start the server first. So let's go through the server program for a while. So I'm going to send the input the greeting message from the user, and then the port number at which I want to run the server. So this is a server socket class and the object of class server socket. So this is a constructor of the class server socket, and so basically I am running the server on this port number, and it is waiting for an incoming client request. So we went over the simple client server program in the previous video, example 4.1. So now again the server is going to wait for a client to connect to it. So this accept method, it's a blocking call. So let's go to the client program. So the client program is going to connect the server. So it accepts the IP address or the domain name of the server, and then you can find its IP address, and then the port number at which the server is running. So the client is opening a socket, the client socket object name. You can name anything you want for the object. So this is the constructor for the socket class. So it takes the IP address of the server and the port number which the server is running as the two arguments. And so once the client executes this line, basically a request goes to the server to establish a connection. So the server is going to get unblocked at this line, and then it's going to now send a message. So we use the printStream class to send a message on the socket. So this is the name of the class printStream, and the socket output is just the object name, and it's the constructor. So we call the get output stream on the data socket object, which is an object of class socket. So when this method gets unblocked, an object of class socket gets returned from the accept method, and that's the socket object that you invoke the get output stream method. And then you print the message that you want to send on the socket called the println method, and then flush it. So now going to the client, you can see that, so the client should be able to receive the message. So we use the buffered reader class. So it's the same thing that we did before. So BR is the object name, you can name anything you want, and buffer reader is the name of the class, and this is the way you create the object of class buffered reader between the constructor and then the wrapper class input stream reader and all these things. Same syntax can be followed in your programs too. And then you call the readLine method on the buffered reader object. So that's going to read whatever is sent as a line from the server. So the server sends the welcome message and then sends a new terminal, a new line character. So it's going to be read as a line, and the client is going to print it out. And then the client is going to send back a reply. So here the client is going to just send a reply telling received your message, thanks. So this reply is hard coded. Of course, you can use scanner or something to get input from the user and then send your customized reply. So to send a reply, you need the print stream object. So print stream is the name of the class, and PS is what I call here as the object name, and then this is the constructor. So I invoke the get output stream method on the same client socket that was generated here. So it is using the same socket to send back the reply. So call the println method on this print stream object, and pass a message that you want to send as reply, and then flush the print stream socket object. And then you can call the close method on the client socket, because you don't need to do anything else in the client program. You just received a welcome message and you sent a reply. The server program is going to now use the buffered reader to read the reply from the socket. So like you create a buffered reader object previously, call the get input stream method on the data socket. This is the object of class socket that is being currently used to communicate with the client. And then call the readLine method, read the reply sent by the client, and the client also sends you the println method, so you can use the readLine method and then print out whatever you read from the socket, and then you close the data socket, which is this particular socket. And also this server is going to just communicate with one client in both directions and then stop. So you can even call the close method on the connection socket, which is an object of class server socket, and then close the socket. Server socket. Okay, so this is just serving one client. So let me now run this two programs. Let's compile it first. So this is the client. So let me now notice that let me show you. My program names are connection server duplex.java and connection client duplex.java, right? But in my thing, class definition for the main function, I just say connection server. So connection server is the name of the class in which the main function is declared. So when you run the program, you should use this name, the connection server, the name of the class in which the main function is declared. Okay, of course you can name it connection server connection server duplex and use the same name. It's up to you. But just to be simple, I just call all my classes connection server and then we change the name of the program. So depending on which program I compiled the latest, I run accordingly. So this is now connection server for the connection server duplex.java file program. So this takes two arguments: the message I want to send, welcome to the world of Java, whatever the message you want to send, and then the port number at which the server is going to run. So it's going to wait for incoming client request. Similarly, the connection client duplex.java is named the connection client in terms of the class definition. So this is the main function. So Java connection client and then the local host and then server port number. So it gets the message welcome to the world of Java from the server, and the client sends back a reply, received a message, thanks. Okay. So let me stop with this.